My boyfriend Mark asked my sister Lily to marry him, right at our engagement party. Everyone expected me to freak out. Even my own mom and dad, John and Carol, told me I should step aside for my sister's sake. But guess what? I stayed calm and wished them well. Then, surprise! I announced I was engaged too, to Alex, a guy whose family is incredibly rich. No more sadness for me. I was choosing happiness. It was supposed to be my big night with Mark. But Mark wasn't there. I couldn't reach his phone. His parents had no idea where he was either. People started whispering. I took the microphone from a waiter, lifted my glass, and started, "Sorry, everyone. Looks like my fiancé had something important come up." Before I could finish, Mark walked in, holding hands with my sister, Lily. They stopped right by the door. "So sorry," Mark began. He let go of Lily's hand, looked serious, and pulled her close for a hug. Then he walked toward me, holding out his hand. "Sorry about this." I put my glass down, handed him the microphone, and stepped away. Mark nodded at me, then turned to the guests with a sad look. "Everyone, and Sarah," he said, "I'm truly sorry. Our engagement is canceled. Today," he went on, "I want you all to see the only woman I've ever truly wanted to marry." He looked at Lily, got down on one knee, and asked with real feeling, "Lily, will you marry me?" Lily didn't answer right away. She looked at me, then at Mark, tears running down her face. She clearly felt bad about ruining her sister's party like this. But Mark kept holding her hand, trying to calm her. The guests who were about to leave stopped to watch. More whispers started. Weren't these two families supposed to get married? Now he's marrying someone else. Lily is hardly ever around, but what an entrance. Didn't Mark like Sarah before? Sarah won't make a big deal, right? Who knows, they weren't married yet. It seems like people love to gossip anywhere, anytime. I smiled kindly and encouraged Lily. "Hey sis, what are you waiting for? Say yes." But she just cried harder, shaking her head without saying a word. Mark lost his patience. He turned to me, angry. "Sarah, stop making this harder for Lily. If you have a problem, talk to me. She didn't do anything wrong." I was confused. "Oh, what does this have to do with me?" I couldn't help adding, "You're acting crazy." Things got tense. My friends quickly came over, worried I might cause trouble. "Sarah, don't get mad. Let's talk later." "Sarah, are you okay? Let's step outside." Even my parents, John and Carol, came over. Dad patted my shoulder. "Your sister has always let you have your way. She just wants Mark. Please be nice for once and let her have him." Wow, they really said it all, didn't they? I sighed and waved them away. Okay, enough. Let me say something." I asked for another mic and walked past my friends. Nearby, Lily was bent over, crying against Mark's chest. Everyone watched me. I stepped closer and spoke clearly into the microphone. "From the bottom of my heart, I wish my sister and Mark all the best." Lily lifted her tear-streaked face from Mark's hug. "Sarah," she started, ready to cry more. I wasn't interested in her act. I cleared my throat and continued. "And I also want to invite everyone." Just then, the main doors opened wide and someone walked in slowly. People stepped back, murmuring again. "Isn't that Alex? What's he doing here?" Wow, Alex came to see this too. I walked over, linked my arm with his, and smiled. "Gus, invite you all to my engagement party with Alex on the 21st of next month." The room went completely silent. Unlike Mark's family, who lived off past glories, Alex's family was old money, powerful in politics for generations. Alex himself switched to business at 20 and quickly became a huge success locally in just 5 years. A real powerhouse from a top family. Nobody messed with this guy. Except my sister, Lily, always worried about me. Now standing with Mark holding her up, she looked shocked. "Sarah, don't joke like that. We can't handle jokes like this." I tilted my head. "Joke? What joke?" Mark hugged her protectively. "Sarah, this is my fault. Tell me what you want as compensation, but don't drag his family into this." My dad, John, finally pushed through the crowd, worriedly pulling at me. Sarah, stop being foolish. Do you even know who this is? Before I could answer, Alex stepped back, taking me with him. John followed, still trying to apologize and grab me. Alex, my younger daughter didn't mean to upset you. John, I think you're misunderstanding something, Alex interrupted, looking annoyed. I handed him the mic. He lowered his head slightly and said calmly, Since Sarah has invited you, you are all very welcome to our engagement party on the 21st of next month. He paused, then added, taking the mic again. And we also wish Lily and Mark happiness together. He let the microphone drop with a loud thud, like a final official stamp on everything. Thump! Silence for a second, then chpa, everyone started talking at once. Younger guests especially couldn't stop chatting. We thought Sarah was in a bad spot, but something feels weird, right? It seems like Mark changing fiancés was sudden, but Sarah was totally ready for it. I didn't realize before Sarah is from the Gardens family. Is that their name? Seriously, we're just watching their games. All the chatter reached Alex. He seemed to like it, turning his head slightly with a small nod towards the speakers, who got even more excited. What's with you guys acting like you're watching a romance movie? Aren't you supposed to be high society? I sighed and patted Alex on the back lightly. Calm down, Peacock. By the next day, it was all over the news. My engagement to Alex with his clear approval was town gossip. My dad, John, had been calling nonstop since yesterday afternoon, asking how I got involved with Alex, wondering if I was trying to cause trouble for him, like I was the problem. Then, after seeing the headlines this morning, his angry questions changed to, Sarah, you must make a good impression on Alex. Our family's future is riding on you now. Riding on me? I tapped my finger on that last message. Funny. John never knew how to run the family business. Mark's family had been helping out for years, so for 20 years, our family's future really depended on Mark. That's why, when they learned Mark was cheating with Lily, they dropped me so fast. My parents always favored my supposedly weak sister Lily and couldn't wait to see her married off well. But Mark used to chase me relentlessly, so they couldn't just swap us. Now that Mark chose Lily, they got exactly what they wanted. Just as I was thinking this, Alex came over with some fruit and sat beside me. What are you thinking about? I picked up a grape and sighed dramatically. Parents who play favorites, a sister who loves drama, a fiancé who cheated, and poor, innocent me. Alex gently took the grape from my hand and ate it. He copied my sigh. Sigh, my poor fiancé. Almost got picked on. Oh, right, this fruit thief knew all about my family history. My attempt to act pitiful failed. They want me to impress you, I said, grabbing another grape and offering it to him. Here, let me impress you. Alex took it easily, speaking casually. Do you think they'll wait more than a few days for a son-in-law like me? Since Alex and I were getting engaged, our family's meeting was expected. Besides, they finally had a chance to get close to Alex. They wouldn't miss trying to benefit from it. It was just a question of how long they could wait before scaring off the big prize. I kept feeding him grapes. A week, maybe? Alex turned his head, confident. One day. The very next day, Alex was stuck making small talk in my parents' living room. I went to my room to pack my things to move into Alex's place. The door opened and Lily walked in with a cup of coffee, smiling sweetly. Sarah, I ground this coffee just for you. Want to try? I glanced at the kiss marks visible near her collar. Lily wasn't even trying to hide them anymore. Very bold, sis. Lily stopped at the door but kept smiling. Oh, what is it? I put down the clothes I was holding, picked up my phone from the table, turned it off right in front of her, and tossed it onto the bed. Hand over your phone. Lily paused. Oh, what are you doing? I blinked, giving her a choice. Turn it off or get out. After a second, the phone in Lily's bag, which had been recording, was switched off. She closed the door too. Lily dropped the smile. Her voice turned cold. I've been wondering since yesterday how you managed to catch Alex. You do have some tricks, it seems. I shrugged. These tricks? Not as good as yours. In our family, especially our parents, Lily, born early and often sick, was treated like she was made of glass. She couldn't run or jump, couldn't even go outside much. Being spoiled like that gave her a mean streak. Around age 5, she started trying to take things she thought should be hers: extra attention from mom and dad, praise from teachers, popularity with friends, and my fiancé, Mark. She used tricks like faking sickness, acting sad, and spreading lies. And she did manage to take a lot from me. I didn't care about most of it, but she always celebrated her little victories like they were huge. Maybe she thought she was brilliant. Thinking about this, I smirked quietly. Ignoring what I said, Lily lifted the coffee cup. I spent 15 minutes grinding this. It's good. Are you sure you don't want any? I repeated her words. Yeah, it's a shame. The room was silent for a few moments. She put the coffee down. You can't marry Alex. Why not? You're not good enough for him. I nodded. Oh, and you are? Lily's eyes showed panic for a second, but she quickly tried to hide it, acting like she was giving good advice. Alex is way out of your league. I'm just looking out for you. Ah, the classic looking out for you excuse. I sat on the bed and pretended to think hard. Is it that I'm not worthy, or do you just want him for yourself? Wasn't Mark enough? Lily automatically answered, Mark and I are truly in love. Then she stopped, realizing something. She looked at me, eyes wide. Did you say you let me? My silly sister. I smiled, holding up a finger as if counting. You said you and Mark are truly in love, right? Let's think. When did that start? At the engagement party 2 days ago. Or during all those secret meetups over the years, or maybe that night after your big school exams? Crash! Slam! The sound of something heavy hitting the floor and a cup shattering broke the silence, startling the 3 people downstairs. They rushed up to see what happened. Lily was crumpled on the floor in my room, holding her stomach, looking like she was in pain. Her white clothes were stained with coffee, and the broken cup lay beside her. I just sat there, watching her calmly. This scene really upset our mom, Carol. She ran to Lily, worried sick, helping her up. What happened? What's wrong? Lily, are you okay? Lily opened her eyes weakly, tears pouring out. It hurts, Mom. Don't blame Sarah. I just tripped. She didn't push me. Heartbroken for her favorite daughter, Carol looked furious. Usually so careful about appearing elegant, she didn't care about the coffee on her hands as she pointed right at me. Sarah, she's your sister, and she's pregnant with your nephew. How could you push her? She got angrier, almost standing up to slap me, but her legs buckled and she ended up kneeling beside Lily. Lily's crying stopped for a tiny second. I had to fight not to laugh, keeping my face serious. People often try to look busy when they're embarrassed. Carol quickly moved off Lily, tears falling as she held her daughter and yelled at my dad. John, why are you just standing there? Call a doctor. This is terrible, just terrible. John, shocked back to reality, was about to rush downstairs to call for help, but Alex stood in the doorway blocking him. He said calmly, Wait. John froze, looking both worried and scared. Alex, what are you doing? Alex just nodded towards me. Everyone looked my way. I slowly stood up and clapped my hands softly. You know, my sister's best acting performance over all these years is this one right here. But sadly, today's the final act. Carol didn't understand. Worried about Lily, she shouted at me, her voice shaky. What are you talking about? Why are you stopping your dad from calling the doctor? Do you want to hurt your sister and her baby? I frowned, covered my ears, and looked at Alex for help. He tapped his knuckle on the doorframe to signal her to be quiet. Carol, don't worry. The last person in this room who wants something bad to happen to Lily, isn't you. What? Alex stayed quiet, so I explained. If anything happens to Lily in my room, it could ruin my whole life. I'm not going to risk that. Carol looked down at the upset Lily in her arms, then back at me, confused. What are you trying to do? I picked up 2 phones from the bed, then walked to the desk and grabbed Alex's phone, which had been hidden behind some books. I showed them the recording screen. Lily's crying stopped instantly. I saw clear panic and fear in her eyes. Our parents also held their breath, sensing something was wrong. My room had never been so quiet. I didn't wait any longer. I turned on the projector, connected Alex's phone, and started the video from the beginning. For the first few minutes, only I was in the room, folding clothes. Then Lily came in with the coffee. A few minutes later, the video showed me asking Lily, "Let me guess, when did it start being true love between you and Mark? Was it at the engagement party? Or all those secret meetings? Or the night after exams ended?" Lily's face went white instantly on screen. She took a few steps toward me, furious. "What nonsense are you talking about?" The video clearly recorded my reply. "Hotel room 107, 10th floor. I even helped you delete the security footage of you two making out in the hallway." After hearing that, the video, Lily turned, picked up the coffee, and splashed it on herself. Her voice was cold, full of jealousy. "So what? That's what you owe me." Then, without pausing, she smashed the coffee cup hard on the floor, cleverly avoiding the broken pieces, and lay down, holding her stomach and gasping. The noise brought everyone upstairs. The last few seconds showed me walking towards the hidden camera. Silence filled the room again after the video ended. Carol's face was frozen, her pain turning into disbelief. "Lily? Why?" John's face turned red. He always prided himself on being calm, but now he couldn't stop himself from yelling angrily at Lily. "What are you doing?" Lily's tears kept flowing. She shook her head frantically, gripping Carol's hand so tight her knuckles turned white. I just, stop, stop, stop." I clapped my hands, cutting off her act. "I'm just showing everyone what really happened. I don't care what you do next. Alex and I have plans, so we're leaving." My words seemed to snap Lily back. She stood up, ignoring the broken cup at her feet, and tried to grab me. "Sarah, you're doing this on purpose. You want to ruin me? Take everything. You just want to hurt me." But before she could reach me, Carol stood up with her and pulled her back sharply. "Slap!" Lily stood there stunned, disbelief on her face. Carol pulled her hand back, looking sadly at the red mark slowly appearing on Lily's cheek, murmuring, "How did you turn out like this?" Lily was shocked by the slap. Slowly, she touched her face, crying, looking at Carol, falling back on her usual tricks of blaming others and playing the victim. "You hit me? For her? Mom, have you forgotten how many times I put up with things for her? All these years, I gave her everything. All I wanted was Mark. What did I do wrong?" Carol hesitated, her hand holding Lily's started shaking. "Mom just saw what you did." Lily shook her hand off, sneering. "Saw what I did? I was just protecting my love my own way." "Mom, what about you? Are you really going to side with Sarah without knowing everything?" Carol shook her head, about to say something. I couldn't resist interrupting. Okay, big sis, you're always right. But I have one question." Everyone looked at me. I turned to Lily. "Is this the first time you've been slapped? How did it feel?" Lily's face turned a mix of blue and red, which looked quite funny. I laughed out loud. "If you have nothing else to say, that's fine. We've seen enough drama. It's time for us to go. The rest is up to them." I didn't want to stay any longer. John told Lily to go to her room. Then John and Carol awkwardly walked Alex and me to the door. Just as I was getting into the car, Carol held the door and tugged my sleeve. "Sarah." I stayed quiet. Alex squinted, pulled me into the car, leaned over slightly, and spoke seriously to Carol. "If Lily ever considers acting, she can call me." He paused, his tone teasing lightly. "After all, her talent seems quite special." Carol froze, hands tight, silent. I glanced at her, then looked away, giving a small wave. "We're leaving, Mom." That "Mom" seemed to calm Carol a bit. She forced a smile and waved back. "All right." As the car door closed, the window shut out the sadness in her eyes. I finally let out a breath. Better late than never, I guess. Growing up, Lily pulled stunts like this too often. How could a child hide things so well? But my parents' hearts were always biased. They only saw and heard what they wanted to, ignoring my pleas for help while supporting Lily, the supposedly weaker one, time after time. Luckily, that's all over now, and luckily, I stopped caring long ago. Back at Alex's house, I just wanted to sleep. The little drama earlier had tired me out. My dad, John, hadn't waited even a day. As soon as he knew the wedding with Alex was real, he called, demanding we bring Alex over for dinner the very next day. We all knew what that dinner was really about. I didn't want to spoil my dinner later, so I dragged Alex over first thing in the morning, hoping we could leave before lunch. Thankfully, Lily didn't disappoint. Her performance gave us the perfect excuse to leave early. The spring sunshine felt nice, perfect for a nap. But just as I lay down, someone restless slid next to me. Tired? Buried under the blanket, my voice was muffled. Yeah. The next second, the bed sank beside me, and Alex pulled me into his arms. Forced out from under the covers, I was face to face with his handsome features. You won't forget your promise from yesterday, right? Promise? Oh, the bet about how long my parents could handle him as a son-in-law. I had bragged they could last a week, but he said one day. Remembering what I'd agreed to if I lost, my face felt hot. Can we not talk about this right now? Alex narrowed his eyes playfully. You won't back out, right? Of course not. Before I could finish, Alex kissed me, stopping my words. I could never resist Alex's kisses. When he finally pulled away, my eyes were watery from lack of air. I'm tired, really tired. Alex snuggled closer, gently nibbling my lower lip. I'll nap with you. Breathless, I weakly pushed him. Go to your own side. Alex obediently lay down next to me, sighing softly. Get some sleep. Rest up and enjoy the show later. 3 days later, Mark announced he was having an engagement party with Lily. An invitation arrived for Alex. Alex tossed the invite into my hand, raising an eyebrow with a playful smile. Let's go watch the show. So that's what he meant by a show. I smiled, taking the invitation. Now this could be fun. Outside the party place, Alex's fancy car pulled up. He got out, walked around, and opened my door. I took his arm, and we walked inside together. This engagement party was in a bigger place, decorated more carefully, and they even invited reporters. I looked around. True love, huh? They put more work into this than my party. Alex scanned the room, laughing quietly. And this is considered effort? I grinned back, trying to soothe him. Just average. The place was full of people. Rich kids and business types in suits chatted over drinks. There were also well-dressed celebrities and online influencers around. But most of these people weren't easy to invite. I wondered, did Mark or Lily's family have some good news lately that I missed? Luckily, I got my answer soon. As soon as Alex and I walked in, almost everyone started looking at us. Someone nearby was already getting ready to approach Alex with a drink. I patted Alex's arm. Looks like they came because of you. With his money, looks, and family name, Alex was like a prince. Since he became successful in town these past few years, he had avoided scandals and disliked parties. Suddenly, having a mysterious fiancé made everyone curious. After finding out it was me, and since Lily was my only sister, it made sense for me to be at her engagement party. So, people were guessing, what if I brought Alex along? This might be their rare chance to meet him. Not far away, Mark came out from the crowd with a drink, smiling at us. Sarah, Alex. A waiter passed with 2 glasses of wine. I took one, nodded at Mark, and raised it slightly. Cheers. What kind of cheers? Hard to say. Mark didn't seem bothered that Alex ignored him. He just nodded, sipped his drink, and turned back to the crowd. I found a table to put my glass down. When I turned around, Alex was already surrounded by a few business people I recognized. No peace for him. I found a corner and tried my best to ignore the eyes watching me. I swirled my drink, ate a small cake, and sipped wine now and then. When most guests had arrived, I put my glass down, rested my head on the table, and pretended to be asleep. Sure enough, the person watching me couldn't wait any longer. A maid came over and gently touched my arm. Miss, are you okay? Let me help you upstairs to rest. I closed my eyes and smiled secretly. Looks like the real show is starting. The maid led me to a room, gently took off my outer dress, kindly covered me partly with a blanket, then closed the door and left. Once it was quiet, I sat up, felt for the dress beside the bed, and put it back on in the dark. The room was very dim and quiet. The maid had taken my phone. I tried to let my eyes adjust as I looked around. It was very clean, no closet, nowhere to hide, and escaping through the only door probably wasn't safe. Giving up on hiding, I sat on the sofa near the window, rubbing my sore shoulders. What surprise do you think she has planned? A tiny electronic buzz came from my left earring. Then Alex's cool voice answered, "You can definitely expect something. She won't be kind." I stood up, wrapped the blanket around me, and went back to the sofa. That sounds pretty bad. Alex scoffed through the earring. Yeah, so bad it's almost funny. I chuckled but didn't reply. I was actually curious about what Lily would try this time. Sounds came from the door. I instinctively held the blanket tighter and looked over. The door opened slowly. The light from the hallway seemed very bright, making me squint. I could vaguely see two figures come in and move quietly. They seemed to be taking off clothes. A rough male voice whispered, "Hurry up, take the pictures and leave." Another lower male voice sounded nervous. I know. They didn't turn on the lights. I could barely see shapes moving towards the bed. I pulled the blanket tighter and started counting down silently in my head. They fumbled around the bed but didn't find anyone. Where is she? Nobody's here. They said she'd be on the bed, right? Turn on the lights and look. I kept counting. When I reached 0, the door burst open and light flooded the room. I quickly covered my eyes with the blanket, not wanting to see anything inappropriate. As a light switch clicked on, Alex spoke, his voice icy. Well, 2 gentlemen in here taking artistic photos? The 2 men were quickly grabbed by Alex's security guys and dragged towards the door. Alex pulled the blanket off me and carried me out of the room. 2 men, hastily putting on waiter uniforms, were kneeling by the door. One had a small camera hanging around his neck. I turned to Alex and asked the men, "Who sent you?" They looked at each other for a second, then spoke. It was Lily. She wanted us to take embarrassing photos of you, making sure your face was clearly visible. Sarah, we were just doing our job. Maybe you and Alex could... I smiled politely and walked away. Alex, call the police. Yes. Lily had gotten used to feeling superior to me for 20 years. When I embarrassed her at home that day, making her move out that night, she definitely wouldn't just let it go. As expected, she showed me no mercy. Downstairs, the engagement party was happening. On a big screen, photos of Mark and Lily's supposed childhood romance were showing. Strangely, I was in many of the scenes, and some pictures were taken when Mark was trying to date me. Who knows when Lily found excuses to take photos with him back then, now presented as their special memories. Quite funny. A pianist played wedding music, filling the room with fake blessings. Alex followed me, wrapping his arms around me. She should appreciate the gift you're about to give back. Looking down at Lily's beaming smile on the stage, I sighed. I wasn't planning on giving her anything. It's sad my sister has always been so naive, always rushing ahead without thinking. Maybe I spoiled her too much over the years, making her foolish. The photos on the screen changed to their engagement pictures. The host asked Lily and Mark to come onto the stage. Holding hands, they walked up, smiled at each other, and turned to the crowd about to speak. Just then, the speakers next to the screen started playing the recording from my earring. My voice was quiet but clear. What surprise do you think she'll bring me? Then it played the waiter confessing, Lily had us photograph you doing something bad with another man and specifically asked for your full face. On stage, Lily's face went pale. She dragged Mark towards the controls. Who's doing this? Shut it off. What is this? Turn it off. But it was too late. Alex's team blocked the way to the control room. The big screen kept playing. The next scene showed my room, me packing, Lily walking in with coffee. Then, the scene of the coffee cup shattering played again. The video ended as I walked towards the hidden camera lens. The room exploded with shocked murmurs. Lily collapsed on the ground, drained and crying. Mark knelt beside her, looking stunned. I leaned back into Alex's arms, holding the railing. I almost forgot. What's in the next video? The screen went black as I spoke. Then, after a few seconds, Lily's voice started before the picture appeared. I really like this trophy, Sarah. The picture slowly became clear, showing a much younger Lily holding a crystal trophy with my name on it. It was my award. In the video, I sat on the sofa, ignoring her. Lily then smashed the trophy at her feet, crying out, "Sorry, Sarah, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have said anything, don't be mad." Then, John and Carol came in, protecting Lily. Video Lily seemed to defend me weakly. "It's not Sarah's fault. I was just too curious about the trophy. Sarah didn't mean to hit me with it. Don't be mad, Mom and Dad." Her words just made things worse. Video Carol looked at me with disappointment. "How could I have a daughter like you? She's your sister." The video kept playing as cameras flashed and reporters streamed the event live. Guests backed away, whispering, "Oh my gosh, are they really sisters? Are those her real parents?" Mark looks like he had no idea. But wasn't Mark engaged to Sarah before he switched to Lily? Maybe Lily was jealous and stole her sister's fiancé. The whispers nearly drowned out the video sound. A party turned into a public trial. Lily sat there, holding onto Mark's arm, hoping he'd help her escape. But Mark looked shocked and stayed put until Lily pushed him away. With John and Carol busy with the crowd, Lily pretended to faint, making guests back away more. It got messy again. Alex tapped a microphone. His clear voice filled the room. "Ladies and gentlemen," people looked around, finally seeing Alex and me on the second floor. He handed me the mic. I glanced at the screen, then spoke calmly. "I hope today's show didn't let you down." Then I looked at Lily, whose makeup was smeared as she pretended to be unconscious. I wondered out loud if my sister was happy now. Lily, finally shaken by Mark, looked up at me wildly. "Sarah, is it you? Are you crazy? You're pushing me." I finished her sentence. "Pushing you to your death?" Lily looked confused. "What?" I laughed, genuinely amused this time. "Isn't that what you told me for 20 years? Every time I succeeded at something, Lily would pull me aside. "I'm so jealous, Sarah. You're healthy, smart, winning awards. I'm happy for you. But, Sarah, why do you get everything? We're both mom's daughters. I'm stuck at home, miserable." She'd break my trophies, rip my awards, saying, "You're so good, you take everything. You make me feel worthless. You're always driving me to death, Sarah." But it was just talk. She never treated me like family, only like a rival. I sighed. Lily, with your attitude, why would you think I'd be a good sister? Sometimes I do wonder about having a sharp piece of glass." The live stream continued. I swallowed the rest of my words, pausing. After all, it's my sister's engagement party. Alex's assistant brought a box to John and Carol. I softened my voice. I had a different gift planned. Inside was the deed to a villa and a contract. Someone gasped, "Isn't that from Alex's resort?" Yes, it was Alex's property, not easily bought. What a generous gift from Sarah. Just as John reached for it, the box lid closed. I smiled apologetically. This was a gift. Now it has to be consolation money. It's rightfully yours. The box was given to John's assistant. Carol, tears streaming down her face, whispered without me looking at her. "Sarah." I ignored her regret, focusing on Lily instead, repeating my childhood apologies sincerely. "Sister, I'm sorry. This kind of thing won't happen again." I used to apologize as a kid because I cared about her. I chose to give up my own achievements to protect her feelings. Now I apologize because I really had ruined what she called her life's goal of happiness. My connection to her ended here. The engagement party was a disaster. Alex and I made headlines again. The secrets swept under the rug from the first engagement party resurfaced, though the story got twisted online. Sarah suspected of having a script? No proof. That line, "What kind of good sister would I be then?" felt so satisfying. Evidence shown, hitting back perfectly, like a revenge novel. Little victims' revenge? Nah, they're all bad guys here. Am I the only one seeing how much Alex lets her do whatever she wants? She acts out and he just laughs. Amazing. OMG, I totally agree. My parents called me endlessly. I ignored them all. But I did run into an annoying person when the police came about the photo incident. Mark looked completely defeated. After the engagement party, John's company value plummeted. Of course, Mark's family business was affected too, as it should be. He was never the hardworking type anyway. Lily ended up in the hospital. I raised a hand, signaling him to stop, ready to close the door on him. Stop it. Go away. But Mark blocked the door. Sarah, it wasn't on purpose. The night after the exams, I wanted to tell you how I felt. I got drunk. I don't know why it ended up being Lily. I stayed behind the door, not wanting to see his face. So that's what you care about? You've had enough chances, Mark, not even counting all the times you messed around over the years. I drew out my words slowly. Did you ever wonder why Lily was the one who saw you that night? Mark gripped the door harder, looking at me shocked. What do you mean? I stepped back, laughing sarcastically. The drug someone put in your drink? I arranged that. The text message inviting me out? I made sure Lily saw it, and the hotel room you two used? I set that up for you both. You? Why, we were engaged. I raised my hand again, waving him away, clearly annoyed. Why don't you get it? I truly couldn't understand why he'd been obsessed with me for so long. Mark froze. Memories of me avoiding him as a teenager flashing through his mind. He looked heartbroken, crushed. I liked you so much. And what does that have to do with me? I sneered. Don't you understand? I've hated you from the beginning. I never liked you. The idea of marrying you gave me nightmares. Being forced to be your fiancé, stuck with you, was the worst part of my life. I just gave you back to Lily, like I always said I would. I wish you two a happy ending. After the party, their families cut all ties and the engagement was officially over. To avoid being dragged down, Mark's family cut business ties just in time. So their company wasn't too badly affected. But a rotten business like John's collapsed overnight. John and Carol disappeared from public view. Lily was diagnosed with mental health issues and severe depression and went to stay at a quiet place in the countryside. Alex bought back the 2 wedding gifts I'd given away at the party, untouched. John's house was taken, and Alex bought his failed company. Facing huge debts they couldn't pay, they used the villa I gave them to cover some costs. Repaying them for raising me, ending the sister bond. It was complicated. This was the only gift I gave them, their last resort. Old problems settled. I finally had some peace. But then, invitations from rich families started arriving, asking me to visit. We all knew they were really interested in the powerful man standing behind me. Thankfully, Alex refused them all for me. Instead, he took me back to his family's old house. In the house, sitting on a classic sofa, Alex's grandmother with beautiful silver hair glared at me playfully. "Oh, who is this girl? I don't know her." She tapped her cup on the table, turning her head away. I rushed over, holding her arm. "Grandma, it's me, Sarah. Look again. I don't believe you don't recognize me." "Who's Sarah? Never heard of her," Alex's grandma huffed, still not looking. I moved to her other side, holding her affectionately. "You have to recognize me. Grandma always said she liked me best." "Don't be mad, Grandma. I was just busy dealing with annoying people lately, but now I'll have more time to spend with you." After I explained, Grandma held my hand kindly, then turned to glare at Alex. "Sarah's in trouble, and you don't even help her?" Alex shrugged, sitting down on a nearby chair. "Didn't look like she needed my help." Just then, Alex's father came downstairs. He had a natural dignity, even in casual clothes. Though tall, he had kind eyes and a teasing tone. "Sarah's been making quite a stir lately. Our boy here might not even be able to help." I looked up, smiling shyly, feeling a bit embarrassed. "Uncle, you're here too." "Your aunt heard you were coming and made me bring her over early," Alex's mom said gently, following his dad downstairs in a simple, elegant dress. "It's me. I just thought we'd have a family meal. It's a good time for Sarah to come with me to look at engagement dresses." Grandma heard this and patted my head softly. Without realizing it, the little girl grew up. I nodded under her hand, feeling emotional too. Yeah. From when I first met Alex at 15 until now, 10 years had passed. Compared to my gloomy childhood house, this old home felt more like my real home. On the day of my engagement party with Alex, held on a rooftop, everything Alex had secretly planned was finally revealed. I lifted my skirt slightly and pushed the door open. There were no crowds of guests, no reporters. White roses, flown in from everywhere, filled the space. At the end of a red carpet, on a small stage, were just our families. Alex's mom leaned on his dad, holding a small gift box. Grandma held a microphone, her kind voice drifting on the breeze. Sarah, welcome home. Alex led me closer. His mother handed me the box. I opened it. Inside was a jade bracelet, smooth and perfectly green. It slid onto my wrist. Carrie, welcome home, his mother repeated softly. Tears filled my eyes. I couldn't speak for a moment. How lucky I was to have met Alex when we were young. 10 years later, everything had fallen into place.